Hey guys, Barkley here, Bass Grunt Fishing. So today we're going to be going over the pros and cons of the Garmin Perspective Mount and the Summit Perspective Mount. I've fished both extensively. I've fished the Garmin Perspective Mount for the last 3 days, and I've fished the Summit Mount for the last couple weeks. And I'm going to go over the pros of each and the cons of each. We'll begin with the pros of the Garmin Perspective Mount. Pros: it's easy to install. Looks cool on the forced trolling motor because it's streamlined and it matches up to the groove on the trolling motor. That's it. That's all the pros. Cons of this thing: look at the play, how much it wiggles. Look at this. Gets in the way of my graphs. The Summit Mount didn't do that. When I put the Summit Mount on here, it's closer to the shaft. Doesn't get in the way of my graphs. I know that that's not a design. That's not like a big issue, but for me it is. I mean, I could move them down, but then it's going to throw off the whole picture. That's just the aesthetic part of it. Now let's get into the picture of it. First off, you have a fixed angle that you can use, and that's it. Up to 20 feet of water, you're only allowed a fixed angle with the Garmin mount. The Summit Mount is an adjustable angle, and you can it's hard to do this one-handed, but you can adjust the mount to whatever angle. And look at that. Look how tight that is. That's not all weeble wobbly like this one. Let's see what else. More angles. It's more low profile. That's a big one. Okay, I fish around a lot of tulies and a lot of grass, and I'm sure you guys do too. This thing, the Garmin one, gets hung up on everything because it's so thin and it's so it sticks out there. It's not right up on the shaft like this one is. This one's really low profile, doesn't get hung up as much. So that's a huge issue too, is that this thing just catches everything. And we're talking about the Garmin mount, not the Summit mount. The Garmin mount catches all types of weeds and debris, gets you hung up. Then because of how wobbly it is, it throws off it gets thrown off, and you have to pull up your trolling motor. You have to readjust it. And I'm sure that it's gonna get worn out after a while doing that if it's already this loose. This one has a little bit of an issue, but a guy here on YouTube commented on my last video because I was complaining about the looseness here, and told me a solution, and I'm pretty sure that's going to fix it. There's no solution for this one. This thing's tightened down as much as it can be. That is the pros and cons of that. Now going to the picture. For some reason, the Summit picture is much cleaner and crisper, and it just looks a lot better than the Garmin picture. I don't know what it is, and also I can fish out deeper with the adjustability of the Summit mount. I'm not sponsored by Summit. I have no affiliation with them. All I know is that I bought this and I like it a lot more. I bought this, I paid twice as much for the Garmin mount, and I'm getting half the performance. I don't like it. But the picture's off. Most importantly, I'm getting passionate about this because this is a big deal to me. The accuracy in the picture, it's off a couple degrees. If you look down the shaft of this thing, you see how it's pointing out. It's supposed to be pointing, so here trolling motor is pointing straight away, and this thing is shooting out a couple degrees. Well, those couple degrees that it's shooting out are gonna make a huge difference. That's gonna be a 5-10 foot difference at 70-80 feet away from the boat. So, and we're talking while it's in forward view. Now, when you get into perspective view, same thing. It's off a couple degrees. I noticed that because I put it parallel to the bank, and when I had the head parallel to the bank and I had the head in line with the bank, it was off. So that tells me it's probably off, like, you know, 5, 10, 15 feet at 70, 80 feet, which is, I mean, if you're casting to a 5-foot section, you're going to be completely off. So the accuracy of this thing is nowhere near what the Summit is, because the Summit's what you see is what you get. There's no angle sticking out to the side. There's no there's nothing going on when you flip this down, and it's not directly in line with the trolling motor. I don't know if you could see it, but this thing, when I have it in there, it's, like you said, it's off a little bit. Let's see if I can get a better picture of it. Yeah, so there we go. And then the head, that's it right there, bam. That thing's off. So see how it's kind of shooting off to the angle? I have the camera level to the trolling motor right here. So this is the trolling motor. You see where it's shooting off to an angle? That's a huge issue right there. So, sorry about that. Hope I'm not making you guys seasick with this camera. That's a massive issue. So Garmin needs to figure that out, because it's not worth $90, $100. I've seen it for like 79 on some spots. I think I paid like 80 something for mine, but I bought the Summit mount for 50, 60 bucks. I bought it on eBay, so I actually paid like 10 bucks more. You can get it straight from their site, which I found out later, which is about 50 something bucks. Way better. So that's my 2 cents. The Summit Perspective View mount is the winner in this one, for all the reasons I just said. And the Garmin Perspective mount, only pro is that it looks cool on the trolling motor and it's easy to install, but that's as far as it goes. So please like and subscribe to my page. If you guys have any questions or comments, concerns, leave them in the comment section. I'll try to get to them as quick as possible and answer them for you, especially if you haven't bought this thing yet. I don't want you to waste your money. And I'm being, you know, hey, who knows, maybe Garmin, I could be shooting myself in the foot for the future with a sponsorship with them, but I'm just being straight up 100% that the Summit's way better, and that the Garmin that we've waited 6 months for, it's kind of a bust. So that's all I got. All right, have a great day, guys. Like I said, like and subscribe, and that's it.